All right, Shalom, we're the Hebrew Israelites. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Kadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the sincere Akim, diligently seeking out their whole salvation with fear and trembling, trying to endure to the end and keep their garments clean. We out here again on Saturday at South Street, between 4th and 3rd and South Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it and hopefully edify the Israelites, the people that are on this side, 12 tribes, Judah on down to Issachar, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelites scattered abroad, Israelite foreigners scattered abroad.
Alright, so like the brother just got sent that saying, alright? Yeah, that noise, right.
I got the noise.
Water. So yeah, man, we out here again, alright, to prophesy the downfall of this place called America, alright? And to wake up the elect of our people, like the brother said, the people on this side, Judah on down to Issachar, you are the true Hebrew Israelites. You so-called Native Americans, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you are the children of Israel, alright? And as you can hear out here, right, you got certain of our people that are not about this truth, alright? You got certain of our people that are not about this word. You have certain of our people that's going to come up against this truth because at the end of the day, there's no truth in them, alright? And so with that being said, we're going to go straight to the first scripture in the book of Hosea. This is Hosea chapter 4, starting at verse 1. And it reads, "Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land."
Yeah, it said, hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. So the Lord, Yahawah, who you ignorantly call God, and his son Yahawashi, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, they're talking specifically, addressing the nation of Israel because that's the Lord's chosen people, not every nation under the sun, only the nation of Israel. So continue.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Yeah, because there's no truth or knowledge of the Most High in the land. That's why the Most High set up his men to basically go out to the highways and byways and to teach the word. Because without us really teaching the word and breaking it down, specifically how it's supposed to be broken down, our people, they would be dumb, deaf, and blind to the truth. They would be following after, with these false prophets, basically postulate out here in these churches, in the black churches over there. They don't get the proper understanding. Something as simple as the Most High is only seeking to give salvation to the nation of Israel. Our people in the churches, they don't understand that. They don't know that they have enemies according to the Bible.
Verse 2, "By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood."
Yeah, that's what our people do. They follow in the ways of the other nations. They're sinners, right? And what a sinner is basically somebody that breaks the law. And only the nation of Israel was given the law, the 613 law, statutes, and commandments. So they're the only people that are under the law according to the scriptures. So those are the people that we're out here talking to. Not every nation under the sun. It's simple. It straight up says it simply. It simply straight up says it.
Verse 3, "Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish."
Not the way you describe it.
Okay, so verse 2. All right, this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 2. "By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood."
Yeah, and like I said, the thing is, where Yahawashi, the one who the world inly calls Jesus Christ,
You're just talking about that.
he basically, that was a point that he kept making, that he wanted to make, is that, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And that's what we come out here to tell our people, but yet You know what I'm saying? They don't really want to repent. They don't want to repent of their wickednesses that they commit.
A lot of them don't even want to know about the fact that what they're committing is wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them, they prefer to stay in a state of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? They prefer to stay in a state of complete and total, you know what I mean, dismay about who they are and about what they're doing, which is wickedness. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna actually jump up back to the first verse and read it again. Hear the word of the Lord. Now that word Lord in all caps is talking about the Most High, but this is His law. All right, these are His laws, statutes, and commandments that we are to follow. Ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath the controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. And notice it says that the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. That means He's against this place. He's against Israel right now, especially you 2/3. He's against you. Okay. Verse 2: by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. All right? And all these things that were listed there, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing of adultery, all right? They break out and blood touches blood, all right? Our people are so against one another, it doesn't even make sense, man. And they don't realize that what they do is evil. What they do is against the Most High, all right? Verse 3: therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. All right? And basically, to languish basically simply means, well, if it's at all possible for you to look at the word of languish. This is Hosea chapter 4 and verse 3. The word there is languish. Right? Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. All right. So with that being said, man, yeah, the land mourned, because again, the world really and truly was created for our sakes. Okay. The world was created for our sakes, but because we went off, even the earth is mourning right now. Okay. Bring it.
Yeah, this is it's H535, the Hebrew word amal, which means to be weak, to drop, to languish, to be exhausted.
Yep. To be weak.
To be or grow feeble.
There it is. All right. What did the scriptures say? The scriptures even say that there would be no might in our hand. Our children would be taken from before us.
Yeah, it says used for plants hanging down.
Read that again.
It says
That's heavy.
It says used for plants hanging down.
Limp. Yeah, basically having no basically you're lifeless then. Okay? That's what it means to languish, to be lifeless. Dead. Essentially.
It says to hang down the head.
To be lowered. We're in a low state. We're in a language state. The scriptures call us dead bodies, man. Really and truly, that's talking about the 2/3. But they're the dead bodies, man. That's what it means to languish. Let me read that again. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. Meaning basically to be brought low, to be of a low vibration. Okay? With the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken. Alright? So, what you got there? Okay, read it.
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 12.
Okay.
It says, wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but lest it rather be healed. Yeah, so it's saying lift up the hands which hang down. You know, like how, when I think of the scripture, this is this old cartoon, the Daffy Duck or whatever, when he was married. It's called the Henpecked Duck. I think the elders brought this out in the sit down or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, he had his, it's like feeble knees is like right now I kind of got feeble knees. I'm coming from work, like I could barely stand up. But it's saying, feeble knees is like weak, like the word they have feeble in here?
No, just language. That's what we
Yeah, well, language, feeble, you know what I mean? That's what Paul, the Apostle Paul, is basically, telling us not to, or the scriptures is telling you lift up. Slide it for a second.
Come on, yeah. Sorry.
Hebrews 12:12. Wherefore, slide it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to 11.
Bring it. Yeah.
All right, so it says, now no chastening for the present seemed to be joyous, but grievous. And that's what we always be talking about. Look at all the stuff, throughout the week we gotta go through in this captivity in Babylon. We gotta see our people being all simple, like we setting up for camp. You know what I'm saying? You got these niggas up the street, walking down the street playing drums and all this stuff, super loud. You know what I'm saying? You barely can hear yourself think or whatever. That's the type of stuff that we gotta endure. You know what I mean? It's folly. It's embarrassing.
You gotta throughout the week. You gotta deal with incompetent fucking employees and shit. Salakia. You gotta deal with incompetent supervisors. You gotta deal with people. You know what I'm saying? Every single day they got some type of ridiculous judgment against you. You gotta deal with a lot of bullshit, man. Within the course of a whole week, stuff that justifiably would drive a man crazy. All right, like this folly right here. Look at this. And stuff like this, if you let it get to you, man, it kills the productivity, man. It destroys the productivity. Makes feeble knees, man. That's what it does. You had something else? Oh, all right. No.
So it says, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterwards it yieldeth the peaceable fruits of righteousness, because we know that, all this stuff that we're basically going through right now, in the end game of the Most High is to basically throw the nations there and put the Israelites over top of them. And, the same curses that was on us, they're going to be on the other nations.
Yep.
So it says, verse 11, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous but grievous, nevertheless afterwards it yieldeth the peaceable fruits of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. And it says, wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees. It says, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. And the Most High, with the spirit of Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, he's basically gonna, if the Lord is dealing with you, he's gonna protect you and he's gonna build you up. He's gonna heal you.
Just by accident.
So I can continue in Hosea chapter 4. I'm verse 4. Yet let no man strive. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 4. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. Wow. And that's actually true. That's actually very true. Like our people, man, hey, look. Our people are the biggest haters of this truth that there is, man. Okay? They are the biggest haters of this truth that there is. Our people, they stay looking for our downfall, man. Anytime, especially like the scriptures say, they hate them that preacheth at the gates. Man, that's our people. They hate to hear this truth. They hate to be told who they really are. Again, a lot of them, they just prefer to stay in that sleep mode. They prefer to stay in that ignorance. Not realizing that, guess what? You're still going to be chastened at the end of the day. You still got to pay for your wickedness at the end of the day. You still got to get that judgment put on you at the end of the day. Regardless. It doesn't, like, you being ignorant doesn't change the fact that you're going to get judged for your ignorance, all right? Continuing. Therefore, verse 5, therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and destroy their mother. Verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of the power of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Alright? And that's basically you see this now. Alright? This you see that as we speak, perfect example. You see what I'm talking about? This absolutely destroyed, man. Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. You see what I'm talking about? Destroyed, man. It is ridiculous how badly our people are destroyed. But this lets you know that when it's all said and done, hey, man, like as this, I read it up above, man, in verse 3. All right, everyone that dwelleth in the land shall languish. Okay, you're seeing this for yourself. Dead bodies, man, limp, weak. That's our people right now. Go ahead and bring it. No, you good. Yeah, you got it.
Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 19.
Okay.
Slocky, matter of fact, I'll start at 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Yeah, that's Ezra's talking, right? So it says the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. So these are the things that, we come out here and basically tell you it's going to happen before it happens. And this is, what our people have no concern about. It's like martial law. Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, it talks about that, martial law. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. But you got wars that's getting ready to kick off. You got economic collapses that's getting ready to kick off. You got famines that's getting ready to kick off. And I mean, it's nothing the government could do or whatever to basically stop these things, right? It was nothing that Pharaoh in Egypt could do to stop the plagues that the Lord Yahawah was sending against Egypt. And we know that America is the modern day Egypt. And it was nothing Pharaoh could do to stop the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing that's going to take place in America, whether our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, want to accept it or not.
There you go.
So it says the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's like a rhetorical question. That's a rhetorical question. So it says, verse 19, it said, behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. And that's what, the Lord, that's what he does. Just like the curses that's in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, he did that to just like how when you do something wrong, your parents will basically chasten you, give you a beating or punishment to make you get correct. But our people, they're not recognizing why the Lord did that. They just continuing in their wickedness or whatever. So it says, verse 20, it said, but all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourging. And that's just what I was basically just saying. Our people are not thinking about why the things that are happening to them are happening to them.
Right, like in the book of Daniel, it tells you that none of the wicked shall understand. Yeah. All right.
But I got you.
Bring that if you can find it.
It's Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
Read that again, actually. Yeah.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. It said, many shall be purified and made white and tried.
Many shall be purified but made white and tried. Now, this is something that got to keep being brought out. Okay, white deals with purity. Okay, white deals with purity. It has nothing to do with, what I'm saying, okay, certain characteristics. No, white deals with purity. People that's calling themselves white people, they're not really white people. When you go back to the scriptures, they're red people. They're the children of Esau. White deals with purity, okay?
I got the definition.
Yeah, bring that definition.
All right, this is all right. So the Hebrew word Laban, right? And it says to make white become white, purified.
Purified. That's all it means. Okay, to be pure. That's why in the spectrum of the colors, white is the only color in the spectrum that doesn't have any hue. Okay, because it's pure.
I got another definition.
Bring it.
Doesn't that go into sexual purity? The fornication of adultery is sin. And they go into sexual purity with fornication of adultery. That stopped in section 2010. Because fornication of adultery is sin. Stop. You know, I got to post it to the Lord because fornication of adultery is a sin. You know, I got divorced, married, and I was out there and I said, now I need to stop. You know, I live in Coast Bay, yeah, the kind of people say, hey, I stopped. Praise God, I stopped. You hear me? 2010. Even when people see me, they see my hair, they see whatever, whatever. See what I'm saying? You don't get this. Because I stopped in 2010. Going into the churches with the book of Revelation. With the book of Revelation. Babylon Harlots. And all that stuff they got going on, going into the churches with the book of Babylon Harlots and the book of Revelation. They do that right in church. They call it sex trafficking in church.
So this is a definition of the word tribe. It says to refine,
The clergy trying to cover it up. They the ones doing it in church.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Yeah, say that. Read that again next.
Your job and all
It's
that.
the definition. The definition of the word tribe is comes from the Hebrew word tazarapah. Yeah, it means to refine or test.
To refine or test. Okay. Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, and that's basically what the Lord is doing to the elect. Is He's basically testing us. He's basically trying to purify us. He wants to see who's worthy. You know what I mean?
Yes. It ain't easy to get to the level that you can stop.
Yeah, continue that scripture, bro. In fact, read it from the top.
So Daniel 12:10, it says, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand."
There you go. Because at the end of the day, the Most High did not give the Spirit to the wicked to understand anything at all. To be wicked simply means to be adverse to righteousness. That's what it means.
They're going to find out Psalm 1 goes
All right.
and cut the path of the wicked.
That's all it means.
The wicked evil is going to be cut off.
Did you
Take half, read Psalm 1 when you get a chance, because their path will be cut.
Did you have something
church,
else?
out of church, it's going to be cut off for their
in that
wicked.
case,
Take care, honey. My grandpa was a lead pastor church. My aunt was a bishop. I've been reading the Bible since I was a teenager, honey. But you got to really know some word when you go into stuff. Because, honey, you sit up in church, honey, they hear you going the wrong path. And you don't have no business
grab
going that way.
grab Jeremiah 4.
In church and on your job.
Jeremiah 4.
Have a good one, honey.
All right.
Psalm 1 when you get a chance. Take care.
All right, too.
My name is Valerie. You take care.
So Jeremiah 4.
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 1. Yeah.
So Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 1, it says,
When I was leaving, she was up the road.
But notice I was ignoring her the whole time.
yeah.
Notice I was ignoring her. See, it's like I keep telling you. You had this conversation
she
earlier.
was bringing up. She was bringing up certain stuff we already knew, or testimony or real stuff. But it's like just going back to
I wanted to see what it said.
going back to like what we were saying. It's a certain like order or way you conduct yourself and go about things. It's like she just wasn't doing that. But anyway, so it says Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 1. It said, "If thou wilt return, O Israel, saith the Lord, return unto me, and if thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou not remove."
Read that one more time, please.
So Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 1. It said, "If thou wilt return, O Israel, saith the Lord, return unto me. If thou wilt put away thine abominations out of my sight, then shalt thou not remove."
Then shalt thou not remove. And listen to what it said. That he's only talking to Israel, man. He's only talking to Israel. He's only talking to Yasser Allah. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's only talking to you. All right? And he said, "If thou wilt return unto me, and put away thy abominations. What abominations is he talking about? These other gods, okay? These wicked practices that are outside of this word, okay? Put away like that feminine spirit, okay? That queen of heaven's spirit. Put that away, man. When you put that away, the Lord said, "Thou shalt not remove." Okay? Because the Most High is not dealing with just anybody. All right? Hell, he's not even. Better yet, in this ministry, especially, he's not even dealing with these women at all.
Yeah, like talking about her such and such as a pastor and all this.
Yeah.
You ain't even got no sense to shut the fuck up while the word is coming out.
But and that was the part that kills me. You were reading the Bible since you were a teenager. If that's the case, then you're familiar with the fact that the scriptures say that you're not supposed to even be talking to us.
Yeah. So why? And then like you telling us about your sexual.
Yeah.
So what's that? Why you telling us like
yeah, cut. I'm like, well, wait. What do you mean? Oh, you see this? But they're not getting. I'm saying to myself.
Like we were supposed to try and talk to her.
Yeah, but you,
like,
yo,
like
notice.
Trying to say she's not.
Yeah, exactly. But notice the whole time you see me, I wasn't even paying that no mind because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, man.
Yo, you trying?
Yo, but we were talking about this earlier, but that's the spirit. We was just talking about this on our way over here, man. These women got no type of acumen whatsoever, boy. None. They just be out here doing all type of shit that make no kind of sense.
Yeah, she wasn't. Yo, nobody wasn't break. I mean, you know what I mean? We wasn't breaking the spirit. We just straight up ignored her. She told us her name and all that.
All
like,
this shit, yeah. Like,
right. I'm like, okay, have a nice day. Like,
I didn't even say it to her. The whole time I'm just looking, yeah, bro, you got that? I got you, Walk on. Let's do this. Let's go to this.
I just wanted to shut her down so she
That's
knows, like,
yeah, that
you
we're
know,
not,
we're
yeah,
not,
exactly. You've been reading the Bible since you're a teenager. Okay, so I stopped being sexual in 2010 and got divorced. So you fucked up right there. Your husband's supposed to be here listening to us, not you. What does the scripture say? The scripture say, if thou shalt learn anything, let your husband teach you at home. That's according to the scriptures, you women. Your husband is supposed to teach you. That's why you're not allowed to speak in the synagogues, man. You're not allowed to speak among men. You're supposed to sit there, shut up, and listen. And if there's any question you want answered, your husband answers that question for you.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, and what the brothers alluded to is that there's an order or whatever. Like, you ain't gonna have a little kid just step up in the synagogue and just start talking and all that. Like, you're gonna be like, yo.
Hey, that's why, if you can get to it real quick in the book of Corinthians, yeah. That's why Paul had to write that letter to them people of Corinth, because they have women in their churches talking. Why are they talking? Why are they teaching? The scriptures clearly say, I will suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over the man. What are you doing talking? Bring that, bro. Just bring it.
So 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1.
This is for the person that's been reading the scriptures since they were a teenager. Continue that.
It said, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I pray you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Right. Ordinances, okay? Ordinances, laws. That's what it means, okay? Continue that.
It says, verse 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach.
The head of every man is Hamashiach, Yahawashi, the first spirit created. Continue.
It says, and the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. That's why out of all 12 apostles, none of them were women. Continue that.
And the head of Hamashiach is Yahawah.
That's it. And the head of Hamashiach is Yahawah. Okay? Why is Yahawashi the head over all men? According to the scriptures, none can go by the Father but by the Son. Hamashiach Yahawashi, okay? And why is it that the head of every woman is the man? Because alluding to the scriptures, guess what? When you go back to the book of Genesis, it tells you that the woman shall serve her husband. He shall rule over her. Alright? Continue that, bro.
Some
simple stuff, man.
Yo, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's simple shit. that she should already know. But no. You gotta have an opinion. You have to say something. You have to ask a question. Learn from your husband at home. If you don't got a man, then that must mean you're looking for a man. That's what you should be doing with your time. Fuck. I'm just calling it what it is.
So Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. It said, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
He that break that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's Proverbs Proverbs 12 and 15. It said, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. So it's saying the way of a fool, like somebody who doesn't know the truth, somebody that's misguided. It said the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. So like that, like the lady that, came up or whatever. And I mean, she's, just has to just let us know that she, try to look righteous or whatever.
I haven't been sexual since 2000. Who gives a
Yeah, I'm like.
So right there, you going against the scriptures, lady, because you're supposed to be a man's plaything.
Yeah, but we'd have stopped her right there and said something. She probably got offended, like we
right?
disrespected her. Started, going to temper tantrum.
Confusion, exactly.
It said, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. And counsel is talking about, instruction, direction, the correct instruction or direction. Like when we say the terminology have counsel, we talking about like a meeting where we discuss through the scriptures and guide, the group as a whole in, affairs or whatever dealing with the king. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it. All right. But yeah, man. But actually, you should read that scripture one more time. Actually, if it's
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
And he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise, okay? He that hearkeneth unto instruction is wise. When we came into this truth, guess what? It was a counsel. If it wasn't if anything, it was a spiritual counsel, okay? When the Lord suppeth with you, that's a counsel, man. That's a counsel between you and the Most High. When the Lord supper with you. I'm telling you, man. This is why women can't. Listen. All I'm gonna say about that is, man, this is exactly why we always preach, man.